Hi there, I'm Dr. Francesca Zampollo, and I have been sent this lovely new book on food design. It's titled Food Futures: Sensory Explorations in Food Design. Let's dive in.
The book is, quite simply, a collection of projects that somehow discuss the exploration of food through the senses. In doing so, this book collects a variety of work from designers all over the world that depicts the multidisciplinary nature of the wonderful discipline that is food design. Here are some of my favorite projects featured in this book. Info Objects is a set of objects, a plate, a bowl, and a mug, that visually represent the energy content, the CO2 equivalent, and the price of several food items. Reading from the book. The information is made tangible through these objects via rapid manufacturing. The info object products are not intended to be objects of utility. Instead, they have the function of raising awareness on the topic of how food is produced and consumed. The Meat Project is a visual representation and at the same time criticism of food waste. Reading from the book. The average person eats around 45 kilos of meat per year. Producing 1 kilo of meat takes around 7 kilos of food, 15,000 liters of water, and 50 to 70 square meters of land. So this project creates awareness around the issue of food waste within meat production by taking expired meat from supermarkets, putting it through a process of decellularization, and so transforming it into a material that can be molded into an object. From the book. By applying this technique, I am not only changing the look and shape of meat, but above all, its meaning. Lickestra, a lickable orchestra, is a musical licking performance where, thanks to a series of conductive ice creams that trigger various bass lines and tones when licked, the eater becomes performer as she licks and therefore plays. Umai is a dining table that brings the attention back to the table, to sitting down and share food, as well as a communal moment. Reading from the book. In more and more homes, dinner is eaten in front of the TV, in the company of the computer or standing by the kitchen counter while talking on the phone. The sit-down meal at the set table appears to be losing both time and attention. With this project, the designer wants to stimulate and encourage people to return to sitting down during meals. The final project I want to talk about from this book is Oneirofrenia. Here the author presents a series of sculptural self-portraits, filling the head with bread dough which, as it rises, ruptures through his plaster skin. Reading from the book. The work is titled after the Oneiroi, who, in Greek mythology, are the personification of dreaming.
Besides Umai, the dining table, we can consider the projects that I have discussed, as well as the vast majority of the projects presented in this book, as critical food design, which I have defined as the branch of food design where the goal is to make people think. I have made a whole video on critical food design, which you can find following the link that is appearing right now. Now, let's remember that critical design, as defined by Dune and Raby, who made it popular, uses speculative design proposals to challenge narrow assumptions, preconceptions, and givens about the role products play in everyday life. It is more of an attitude than anything else. Think about the projects we have seen, and you will see that these were designed to raise awareness, expose assumptions, provoke action, spark debate, and even entertain. And this is critical food design. I think that what this book does because of the projects the authors have selected to be featured, is showing how critical food design is on the rise and how food design is used more and more to make people think. And maybe in this confusing world and challenging time we are in right now, in terms of social as well as environmental issues, maybe thinking more is exactly what we need. So allow me to plant one more little seed in your minds. Last project we looked at, oneirofrenia, was it designed to make people think? Does it really raise awareness, expose assumptions, provoke actions, and spark debate? Is it an example of critical food design, and ultimately, of course, food design? Or is it actually the expression of the author's imaginative or technical skills, intended to be appreciated for their beauty or emotional power? Or the activity through which the author expresses a particular idea? Or is it the communication of intimate concepts that cannot be faithfully portrayed by words alone? In other words, is this an example of food design, even if critical food design? Or is it an example of art? What do you think? Could it be art because the object is a sculpture? Maybe it's art because the object doesn't have a use. What is a use? What is a function? What about emotional functions? What is even the difference between art and design? Do we even have to debate upon the difference of art and design anymore? Are maybe art and design the same thing? Aren't they both about representation, process, innovation, communication, self-expression, and emotional outreach? I would love to know what you think, because this is going to be the topic of a future video where I would like to feature your comments. So please write them down below. Thank you. Okay, so back to Food Futures. Overall, I think this is a very interesting book with a wonderful selection of projects that all discuss the relationship between people and food through the senses. In the description below there is a link to where you can buy it. Thank you for watching this video. If you feel like it deserves it, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And click on subscribe to never miss another video on food design and on the bell icon to receive notifications when there are fun things happening like live streams, webinars, interviews, etc. Thanks again, have a lovely day and happy food design!